I remembered blinking through steam curling above porcelain plates, gripping polished silverware with blistered knuckles. Dim lanterns cast shadows along textured brick, jazz humming underneath murmurs. That evening, Destiny wore crimson heels, her perfume slicing every breath like sharpened citrus. She entered, graceful yet calculated, feline elegance molded into human form. Curls shimmered under chandeliers. My lungs staggered. Crystal earrings dangled from earlobes sculpted by ancient gods. Velvet clung to her silhouette like desire manifesting flesh. Sparkling or still? I managed, voice trembling behind clenched professionalism. Her lashes fluttered lazily, amused. Surprise me, Claire. No title captured her, no label, no status. She was chaos with lipstick, freedom bound by wedding rings. My heart reacted before comprehension. Her presence devoured logic. Each visit, she lingered. Once weekly, then twice. Conversations stretched past closings. My colleagues noticed smirks exchanged mid-orders, accidental grazes when menus passed. Still, nobody questioned. Secrets thrive in silence. She asked about dreams, purpose, history. I spoke of childhoods beneath flickering bulbs, growing up beside rusted fire escape. My mother vanished. Grandmother raised me with tough love and softer lullabies. Books became solace, food became language. Behind aprons, my soul simmered. Romantic, Claire sighed, swirling Bordeaux absently. You're wasted here. Flattery danced across nerves. No stranger to compliments, yet hers felt sacrilegious, forbidden. Every syllable drew maps toward temptation. One night, rain fell sideways. She stayed beyond last call, drenched laughter echoing through empty booths. My fingers reached instinctively, brushing damp locks from her cheek. Lips collided, unplanned, unstoppable. Skin against skin, we shattered propriety. Her thighs wrapped around hunger unspoken, her nails marking territory. We moved like fire-consuming silk. Morning brought guilt like ash. I shouldn't, she muttered, buttoning her blouse without regret. But I wanted to. So did I. We continued. Elevators. Hotel balconies. Her car parked beneath neon flickers. Always secret. Always dangerous. She shared stories of Henry. Her husband, cold strategist, busy collecting investments, not memories. Their mansion stood silent, echoing loneliness within marble halls. He stopped touching me 2 winters ago, she admitted. Now I collect warmth elsewhere. I provided heat. Reckless. Intoxicating. Needed. Yet behind stolen hours, consequences loomed. Surveillance cameras. Jealous investors. Curious friends. We flirted with discovery like addict. Still, neither stopped. One evening, she handed me a gift, a wristwatch. Expensive, foreign, elegant. So you remember time belongs to you, not your boss. I hesitated, ashamed. I can't accept this. Claire cupped my chin, whispered, You already accepted me. At that moment, reality felt distant. Right, wrong, vows, irrelevant. Only her breath mattered, her touch, her worship of a man beneath station. She made me feel priceless. Yet in shadows, storms whispered betrayal. Thunder brewed, unseen. Because lust doesn't just burn, it consumes. And I was already smoldering. Mornings arrived smelling like secrets, warm, perfumed, aching. Sheets remembered her better than I dared admit. Though alarms buzzed, my body longed for yesterday's softness, her legs tangled with mine, fingertips writing oaths across shoulders. Claire's voice lingered in echoes, a melody dripping seduction. Texts arrived early, cryptic lines from poets, blurry mirror photos, locations mapped with hearts. I devoured every message like gospel, memorizing timestamps like relics. Though conscience howled, hunger silenced virtue. At La Belle Lumière, my hands moved automatically, pouring wine, arranging cutlery, pretending smiles meant nothing. Beneath routine, I buzzed with adrenaline, every glance toward the entrance filled with possibility. Would she come again tonight? And she did. Always arriving late, always alone. She wore shadows stitched in silk, heels tapping coat against marble. Her greetings were subtle, eye contact held too long, lip corners lifted barely. Only we knew the symphony beneath still waters. "You taste like risk," she whispered once, during stolen minutes behind locked storerooms. "And I've starved too long." Our affair flourished in corners, freight elevators, rooftop terraces. Once, inside her husband's guesthouse, laughter echoing dangerously close through corridors. She loved that, the thrill, the danger, the dominance. But lust doesn't share space quietly. Something shifted when Henry returned early from Zurich. Claire stopped smiling with her eyes. Phone calls became shorter, her replies slower. When she did visit, tension clung to her posture. She drank more, laughed less. I sensed cracks beneath polished surfaces. One evening, she arrived in silence. No gown. No perfume. Just jeans, sweater, tear-streaked eyeliner. I opened the staff door. She fell into my arms. "He knows," she whispered. Blood froze. "He found the necklace," she continued. "The one you gave. I'd forgotten, small trinket, nothing lavish. A silver pendant engraved with coordinates of our favorite overlook. She wore it daily, hiding sentiment beneath cashmere. He asked if someone lesser gave it," she said bitterly. "He used that word, lesser." Pain twisted inside. Still I nodded. "What happens now?" "I'm deciding." That night, I kissed away her fears, but even pleasure felt heavier. There was a countdown now, ticking behind every movement. We lived between explosions, waiting. Days passed. Then, an invitation, Claire's. Private suite, high-rise overlooking riverside skyline. Champagne already opened. Candlelight flickering against glass walls. She undressed slowly, reverently. Every layer fell like chains releasing. But after, beneath linen sheets and damp bodies, she asked something strange. "If I disappeared tomorrow, would you chase me?" I blinked. "Anywhere." She smiled, eyes glazed. "Even if I broke you?" I hesitated, just enough for shadows to notice. She laughed once. Low. Hollow. "Thought so." Sleep evaded me that night. Next morning, her scent remained. She didn't. No note. No message. Just a single text hours later. "Be careful who you rescue. Not everyone wants saving." My soul trembled. Because I still hadn't learned. Desire promises paradise, but collects payment in ashes. Rain greeted that morning like judgment. Pavement wept beneath scuffed shoes while horns wailed disapproval. I wandered alleys without purpose, dragging footsteps, searching spaces her shadow once visited. Claire vanished. Phones rang unanswered. Penthouse dark. Usual haunts emptied. Even whispers within kitchen corridors grew quieter, as though our affair never existed, like love rewritten by ghosts. I continued pretending, carrying trays, greeting strangers, memorizing orders, all while heartbeats cracked between every second. Misery isn't loud, it's clinical. It steals appetite, dulls colors, folds time into repeating pain. One evening, I found an envelope taped behind locker hinges. Inside, a photo. Rooftop. Mid-laugh. She kissed my cheek, unaware someone watched. Another message scrawled beneath. "They know. Leave before they choose for you." Fear bloomed instantly. I considered quitting, leaving town, disappearing. But pride held tight. I refused becoming a cautionary tale. I wanted answers. Closure. Revenge? Maybe. 2 nights later, fate answered uninvited. Her husband arrived. Not discreet. Not alone. 3 men in tailored charcoal entered the restaurant. Henry walked ahead, predatory calm wrapped in wool. I spotted Claire behind them, guarded, silent, expressionless. Armor polished, lips neutral. I approached cautiously. "Good evening." Henry studied me slowly, eyes dissecting layers. "Are you happy here?" I nodded. "Good. Then stay in your lane." He sat. Claire avoided eye contact. Her hands trembled slightly as she lifted water. She didn't speak. She didn't need to. During dessert, Henry leaned over. You enjoyed my wife. Not a question. Not loud. Just ice cut into syllables. I said nothing. She's complicated. Beautiful things usually are. Did she mention the others? My stomach turned. She finds them fascinating, he continued. Broken boys. Servants. Painters. Drivers. You're number 6. I couldn't breathe. She never leaves. She always promises, but never goes. He smiled. She feeds on saviors. Then, he stood. Claire rose silently behind him, pausing only long enough to murmur, I warned you. My world collapsed inside that moment, a house of lust built on lies. Weeks passed. Rumors spread. Patrons asked fewer questions. Management whispered about demotions. One by one, shifts shortened, tips disappeared. Eventually, I was let go, economic downsizing, they said. That same day, I packed everything I owned into 2 bags. I moved across town, renting a room above a florist shop. Days filled with odd jobs. Landscaping, unloading shipments, washing windows. Dignity survived barely. Still, I remembered her. Always her. Then one spring afternoon, while watering planters outside, I noticed someone collapsed on the sidewalk. Pale, shaking, breathless. A woman. Different. Younger. Afraid. I rushed forward, helped her upright, held her steady. She clung tightly, eyes full of panic. Thank you, she whispered, voice cracking. Nobody else stopped. And suddenly, I understood something cruel and divine. Claire didn't break me. She revealed something still breathing beneath ruin. Not all saving is about redemption. Sometimes it's survival. Sometimes it's someone else's turn. Sunlight spilled across hardwood like forgiveness. The girl, her name was Amelia, returned the next day carrying lavender, ginger tea, and a thank you note written on torn notebook paper. Her eyes held remnants of storms, same shade as clouded seawater. She'd fled something dark. Didn't say what, just hinted. Controlling fiancé. Locked apartment. Fractured promises. Her bruises spoke louder. I didn't pry. She started helping at the shop. Arranging daisies, trimming stems, sketching smiley faces on receipt. Customers adored her quiet warmth, the way she found beauty inside broken blooms. I watched from windows, observing her dance with light again. Healing, I learned, doesn't arrive with fanfare. It crawls. First you eat again. Then sleep without sweating. Eventually, laughter creeps back, uninvited. One evening, Amelia brought wine. We sat beneath string lights, feet dangling over fire escape, sharing stories between sips. Her giggle sounded like leaves rustling in warm breezes. I used to draw wedding gowns, she admitted, tipsy. Now I design escape plans. I laughed. Harder than expected. We talked until city sounds faded. When silence stretched, she leaned over, not forcefully, not desperate, just curious. Our lips touched gently. No wildfire, just warmth. A different kind of spark. Not a drug. Not an explosion. A beginning. The next morning, sunlight didn't feel heavy. Days blurred. She stayed over. Borrowed shirts. Painted my mirror with lipstick hearts. We cooked together. Pancakes on Sundays, spaghetti barefoot on Thursdays. Her presence filled spaces Claire left echoing. But ghosts aren't easily buried. One night, while locking up, I saw the envelope. Again. Same handwriting. New message. History repeats unless rewritten. Inside, a photo. Claire. Alone. Tear-streaked. Disheveled. Standing outside the restaurant where we met. Beneath it. He replaced you. Then he replaced her. Then he broke her. Amelia saw my reaction instantly. What is that? I hesitated. Truth sat bitter on my tongue. Someone I used to know. She nodded slowly, stepping closer. Do you still love her? I considered the question deeply. No, I said. But I remember how she taught me to love the wrong way. Amelia smiled, kissed my cheek. Later that night, I couldn't sleep. I paced. Claire haunted my thoughts. Not her beauty, not her seduction, but her collapse. That photo looked real. Unstaged. Unfiltered pain. Something inside stirred. Not lust. Not revenge. Responsibility. I couldn't ignore it. The next afternoon, I returned to La Belle Lumiere. New staff. Different decor. Familiar ache. The manager remembered me. Claire? He repeated, scratching his beard. Haven't seen her in months. I left a note at the old address. No response. That evening, while taking out garbage, I spotted her. Claire. On a park bench. Alone. Disoriented. Makeup smeared. Designer coat wrinkled, stained. She looked ruined. I froze. She turned. Recognition hit. Eyes widened. Tears formed. Not performative. Real. Then she whispered. You came back. And for the first time I didn't feel weak. I felt whole. Because now I held the power. And she knew it. Her pupils glistened like rainfall swallowed by candlelight. Fragility clung to Claire's skin, no longer velvet-wrapped arrogance but a fractured woman gripping dignity with trembling fingers. Park wind tangled her curls. Lipstick smeared upward like a faded bruise. I lost everything, she murmured. I remained standing. Distant. Guarded. My fists itched from memories, her betrayal, her manipulation, her lies. Yet pity stirred, poisonous and persistent. What happened? I asked eventually. She coughed. Shoulders sank. Henry replaced me. Found someone younger. Blonde. Quiet. Harmless. She smiled bitterly. He always said noise bored him. Guess my rebellion became inconvenient. I sat. Not beside her. Across. Separate. Did you love me? I asked. Claire blinked. Her mouth opened, paused, closed again. I wanted to, she whispered. That didn't answer anything. I thought you were mine, she continued, eyes glazing. But people aren't possessions. I understand that now. I stayed silent. She sniffed, pulling knees to chest. After he threw me out, I went to my sister's. She closed the door. Silence lingered. Claire fidgeted, then pulled something from her pocket. A necklace. My necklace. I kept it, she said. He burned the rest. She stood, crossed slowly, placed it in my palm, warm from her grasp, cold with nostalgia. I came here every day hoping you'd walk by. Her voice cracked. But you were gone. You were happy. I saw her. She meant Amelia. And suddenly, I understood what love looks like when it's real. I sighed, pain rising. Why now? She shrugged, defeated. Because when you lose everything, clarity comes last. Before I could respond, a car screeched across gravel. Black SUV. Tinted windows. Door swung open. A man emerged. Sunglasses. Suit. Familiar presence. Henry. He approached calmly, hands tucked behind. Hello again. I rose instinctively. He studied us like prey, then turned to Claire. You're embarrassing yourself, he said coolly. Claire flinched. He stepped closer. This? Your grand return? Nostalgic garbage. He's a waiter, Claire. Still beneath us. My jaw clenched. You're hollow, I muttered. Henry laughed. I'm successful. Claire stood between us now. Stop. He ignored her. She used you. Just like she used the others. I stepped forward. Then Claire did something unexpected. She slapped him. Hard. Henry stumbled. Face reddened. His mask cracked. This man, she hissed, pointing at me, gave me something you never could. What's that? Truth. Henry laughed again. You deserve each other. He walked off, waving dismissively. Tires screamed shortly after. Claire turned. Tears returned. I didn't come to ruin things. You didn't, I replied slowly. She searched my face. But you're not him anymore, she realized aloud. I nodded. I hope she keeps you safe. She does, I said. Without lies. Claire nodded, stepping backward. No more saving, she whispered. Promise. I hesitated, then. Promise. She smiled. Real. Simple. Sad. Then she vanished into twilight, leaving closure behind. And as I walked home, necklace in one hand, freedom in the other, I knew. Redemption doesn't arrive loudly. It walks softly, wearing scars. Late summer draped itself lazily over rooftop. Wind softened. Shadows lingered longer. Life, finally, no longer revolved around what-ifs. I returned home that evening, not to an apartment echoing regrets, but to warm lights, the smell of cinnamon, laughter behind doors I once feared to open. Amelia danced barefoot across kitchen tiles, hair wet, wearing my old shirt like armor. She hummed absent-mindedly while stirring something fragrant. Every movement felt unchoreographed, honest, beautifully imperfect. "You okay?" she asked, noticing something unsettled in my posture. I nodded. "Saw a ghost." She didn't press. She never did. That was her magic. Patience without pressure, kindness without condition. We ate quietly, clinking forks, trading bites. She told me about a customer who paid entirely in foreign coins. I shared a memory about Claire. Not the lustful parts, not the betrayal, just a moment once beautiful. We honored truth, not fantasy. Later, while folding laundry, she found the necklace. "This hers?" I paused. It was. She studied it briefly. "It's lovely. Want it?" She laughed. "No. Keep it. You earned the story." We watched the sun dip behind rooftops. Street lamps blinked awake. Somewhere, music drifted through cracked windows. Then the knock came. Unexpected. Too quick rap. A pause. Another knock. I opened it. A girl. Maybe 20. Black eye. Torn sleeve. Tears clinging to her cheek. "Are you the guy who helped Amelia?" she asked. I blinked. Nodded slowly. "She said you saved her." Amelia stepped forward, gently wrapping the girl in a blanket, leading her inside without questions. She'd seen this scene before. I had too. We didn't need explanations, just action. We offered soup, a seat, silence. Eventually the girl spoke. "He locked me in for 2 days. I broke a window. Ran. No theatrics. No exaggeration. Just plain horror." Her name was Maya. The next morning, Amelia called a shelter she trusted. I drove Maya there. She gripped my hand the entire ride. "You're not like other men," she said quietly. I thought about Claire, Henry, rooftops, red dresses, hidden storerooms. "No," I whispered. "I'm not." Weeks passed. Maya healed. Got work. Sent postcards. One day, Amelia surprised me, sketchbook in hand. She'd been designing again. But not wedding dresses this time, emergency kits, self-defense posters, advocacy resources. She wanted to build a nonprofit. "I want to help women who don't get rescued by luck," she explained. I didn't hesitate. "Let's do it together." She smiled. "Like partners." "Like fire and purpose," I said. And suddenly it made sense, all of it. Claire's cruelty. My downfall. The shame. The departure. Because pain, while unbearable, sculpted the kind of man who doesn't walk away anymore. Our pasts weren't mistakes. They were maps. Now, I didn't serve wine beneath chandeliers. I served women fleeing darkness. I opened doors they'd been told were forever locked. Amelia designed freedom. I enforced it. And somewhere, maybe, Claire smiled, knowing she lost a lover. So others could find protection. Because love isn't possession. It's protection, even from yourself. Even when denied. Even after destruction. Especially then.